Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss an important leadership topic: why leaders fail, and understand some common leadership behaviors that can negatively affect teams, decision making, and workplace culture over time. Leadership is not only about authority or intelligence. The way leaders communicate, respond under pressure, and treat the people around them can strongly influence trust, teamwork, and organizational success. Even strong leadership qualities can become harmful when they become extreme or unbalanced over time. Many leadership strengths can slowly become leadership weaknesses when they are taken too far. Confidence may turn into arrogance. Caution may become fear of decision making. Creativity may become distraction and instability. This idea is often called the executive paradox. Another important concept discussed in this topic is the reality gap. As leaders gain more authority and power, employees may stop giving honest feedback and instead say only what leaders want to hear. As a result, leaders may slowly lose touch with reality and begin making poor decisions without realizing it. In this presentation, we will examine 11 behavioral derailers that can turn leadership strengths into serious organizational weaknesses over time. Arrogance develops when leaders begin believing they are always right and gradually stop listening to the opinions and ideas of other people. The impact of arrogance is that employees stop sharing honest feedback because they feel ignored or undervalued. Over time, communication becomes weaker and important warnings may never reach leadership. The adjustment is developing humility and active listening skills. Strong leaders remain open to feedback, encourage discussion, and continue learning from others, regardless of their position or experience. Healthy organizations encourage open communication and honest feedback. Employees feel more motivated when leaders listen carefully, value different opinions, and remain open to learning. Strong leadership grows through self-awareness, humility, and continuous improvement. Melodrama appears when leaders become overly dramatic and focus too much on image, attention, or emotional performance. The impact is that employees become distracted by the leader's behavior instead of focusing on important goals and workplace responsibilities. Over time, exaggerated emotional behavior can reduce seriousness and damage professional credibility. The adjustment is developing calm, authentic, and consistent communication. Employees usually trust leaders more when their behavior feels stable, genuine, and professional. Volatility can be seen in leaders who experience sudden mood swings and unpredictable emotional reactions. The impact is that employees become anxious and emotionally exhausted because they constantly worry about the leader's mood and reactions. Instead of focusing fully on work, teams begin focusing on avoiding emotional conflict. The adjustment is improving emotional intelligence and emotional control. Calm and emotionally stable leadership creates healthier workplace environments and stronger teamwork. Employees perform better in environments where leadership remains emotionally stable, respectful, and predictable. Strong emotional control helps leaders create trust, improve communication, and reduce workplace stress. Excessive caution happens when leaders become so afraid of making mistakes that they delay decisions for too long and avoid taking necessary risks. The impact is that organizations may lose valuable opportunities while employees lose momentum and direction. Too much hesitation can slow growth and reduce innovation inside teams. The adjustment is learning how to manage risk more effectively and becoming comfortable with uncertainty. Strong leaders understand that leadership always involves some level of risk and imperfect decision making. Habitual distrust develops when leaders become overly suspicious of other people's motives and stop trusting employees or colleagues. The impact is that teamwork becomes weaker and workplace relationships become divided. Employees may begin feeling excluded, undervalued, or disconnected from leadership. Over time, collaboration and communication continue to decline. The adjustment is building transparency, healthy communication, and stronger professional relationships. Trust is one of the most important foundations of effective leadership. Organizations become stronger when leaders create environments based on trust, communication, and teamwork. Employees feel more engaged and productive when they feel respected, included, and supported by leadership. Aloofness appears when leaders become emotionally distant and disconnected from employees and daily workplace interactions. The impact is that employees may feel unsupported or uncomfortable approaching leadership with concerns or ideas. Communication gaps increase, especially during stressful situations or organizational challenges. The adjustment is becoming more approachable, visible, and engaged with employees. Strong leaders remain connected with their teams and maintain open communication. Mischievousness can be seen in leaders who constantly create disruption, conflict, or unnecessary excitement, simply to gain attention or avoid routine. The impact is that workplace stability and trust become weaker over time. Employees may eventually stop taking leadership seriously because behavior becomes unpredictable. The adjustment is balancing creativity with responsibility and consistency. Strong leadership requires both innovation and organizational stability. Successful organizations need both creativity and stability. Employees perform better when leadership creates clear direction, balanced decision-making, and consistent workplace expectations. Eccentricity develops when leaders continuously produce new ideas, but struggle to stay focused on priorities and long-term direction. The impact is that employees may become confused or overwhelmed because goals and ideas change too frequently. Over time, teams may stop taking leadership suggestions seriously. The adjustment is improving focus, prioritization, and organizational structure. Strong leaders know how to focus energy on the ideas that create the greatest long-term value. Passive resistance occurs when leaders publicly agree with decisions or strategies, but privately avoid supporting them afterward. The impact is confusion, frustration, and disappointment within teams because leadership actions do not match leadership words. Employees gradually lose trust in inconsistent leadership behavior. The adjustment is improving honesty, transparency, and accountability. Strong leaders communicate disagreements openly and support decisions consistently once commitments are made. Employees trust leaders more when communication remains honest, clear, and consistent. Strong leadership depends heavily on credibility, accountability, and follow-through. Perfectionism develops when leaders become overly focused on small details and struggle to delegate responsibilities to others. The impact is that employees may feel untrusted, discouraged, and less confident in their abilities. Micromanagement can also reduce creativity and slow productivity within teams. The adjustment is learning to delegate more effectively and focusing on larger organizational goals instead of controlling every small detail. Strong leadership requires trust, support, and empowerment. Eagerness to please develops when leaders try too hard to remain popular and avoid difficult conversations or uncomfortable decisions. The impact is that accountability becomes weaker and employees may begin seeing leadership as unfair or inconsistent. Over time, favoritism and lack of discipline can damage workplace culture and team morale. The adjustment is focusing on fairness, responsibility, and professional accountability. In leadership, respect is often more important than popularity. Strong leaders make responsible decisions even when those decisions are difficult. Leadership success depends not only on intelligence or authority, but also on self-awareness, emotional balance, communication, and accountability. Many leadership failures begin as normal strengths that slowly become extreme or unbalanced over time. Leaders who remain open to feedback, emotionally aware, and committed to continuous improvement are often better prepared to build trust, support teams, and create healthier workplace cultures. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next video.